Aaron, really excited to have you on and
excited to
finally
be
catch
here.
up. So
Exactly.
I guess we'll dive into it. Who are you and what do you do?
Yeah, no, so I'm Aaron. I'm 24. I studied Spanish and French at uni and then joined Entr Tech shortly after.
Yeah.
Went through Entr Tech's program and then was hired as an SDR at a company called Flex Legal, who kind of specialize in the legal space, as you can imagine, given the name. But really what we do is we place, interim paralegals and lawyers into law firms and in-house legal teams, kind of helping them with flexible resourcing during peaks in work. So I joined there as pretty much one of the first SDRs in a small company that was growing out its commercial function, and then space of about 6 to 7 months was progressed into an account manager. So looking after a number of pretty key clients for the firm and just helping to grow them. And no, it's been great. It's been a really, really good position. I've been handed a lot of responsibility and crazy to think I've been there for 2 years.
Yeah. I was actually looking at WhatsApp, and it was like 2 years nearly
Literally 2 years.
to the day or something. So
2 years last week, I think.
Yeah.
So,
well, congrats. And it's really cool to see how you've progressed, especially so quickly. And we'll jump into like startups and all that good stuff. But how did you evolve? So I know you went to school. I think you're pretty big into sports, academics.
Yeah.
How did you where did you go to uni? Did you know you wanted to get into tech sales, or how did that journey evolve? Because lots of people are listening either at school, university, or even career switchers.
Yeah.
And like, what stood out to you? Like, how did you come across Entr Tech? But like, did you know what you wanted to do when you were at uni?
Yeah, no, it's an interesting one. I mean, studying languages, naturally, I was very involved with people, was quite a good communicator, and I felt like that's quite a big part of sales, communication, building relationships with people. So I always knew I wanted to be in that people space. And shortly after I finished uni, was thinking, okay, I think sales could be quite a good career. I was also very, very sporty, quite competitive. And so those are very, very good attributes for, an SDR. But really was just lacking the experience. And a lot of roles often require 3 to 6 months experience as an SDR. So was searching online and found Entr Tech, learned about the program and thought this could be a great way to build up a bit of experience and also hear from some industry experts. And I actually got in touch with someone who had been through the program, who spoke very highly of it and said that he landed a role very shortly after. So knew I was in the right place. Was very fortunate to be accepted onto the program. We had a good chat about the kind of attributes needed to succeed in sales, being very resilient and covering prior academics, and also I think some of my traits that meant I could actually be maybe a decent SDR. So that's kind of my journey into Entr Tech. I mean, we can touch on the program if you want now. And
I mean, go with the flow, I guess. How did you find it going in? Obviously, it's quite a niche, like it's very niche what we teach in terms of like technology and the crossovers. But what did you find useful, or that helped you a lot?
It was a really, really useful program because I think first and foremost, it wasn't sugarcoating sales. People come into it thinking, of course, you can earn a lot of money. That's obviously a big part of it. But Entr Tech did a very good job of just managing expectations and telling people that, look, it is quite a challenging career. You've got to be very resilient. That target resets every single month. You're going to face a lot of rejection. And it takes someone to succeed in sales. I think it takes very competitive people. But what was great was hearing from industry experts, sales directors, people that lead big sales teams or even have a good crossover with marketing, and hearing from them, attributes that some of their best SDRs, attributes of their best SDRs, how people progressed into account managers. So, and also just core skills like, how you build a bit of a pipeline, own that pipeline, building out cadences and follow-ups and prospecting, using different tools, insights into CRMs. And I'd say also nice to be part of a cohort. I got on with some of the other people in my cohort. We were quite a big cohort, I think, in my one. Might have been upwards of 15 to 20 people, which was great. And, good to bounce ideas off each other. And everyone there was kind of interested in the sales element, or some had previous sales experience or wanted to go into become, customer success or account managers, but all with a shared goal and all helping each other out when we were preparing for interviews and stuff like that. So it was a real head start. And I think I came to appreciate that when I actually landed my job, because it was basically me and a guy who'd been in sales for like 10 plus years. And he was quite surprised at how much I knew already. And I think that really just helped me settle in and get on with things quite quickly and not need so much of a, you know, an induction, which was great. It was really, really helpful and helped me deliver value quite quickly and prove my worth in quite a small organization, which I think was crucial. So yeah, no, it was a great program. And I think many others I know, I've seen their LinkedIn updates, you know, being promoted at various different companies and hopping between them. So no, it was great. It was great.
No, I appreciate you sharing that. And I think you you smashed it out of the park in terms of your interview with Flex. But remind me, were there another few conversations, but you were pretty set on, I think, Flex when you met the hiring manager? And like, what stood out to you? Was it you knew you wanted to be in a startup environment? Like, talk me through that, because I remember speaking to the sales leader, and he was like, "Yeah, I think Aaron is like exceptional from day one." Was it the rapport you had there? Like, what stood out to them? And I guess how's the journey been from entering a company and obviously having fast progression?
Yeah, no, it was interesting. I think I interviewed at a couple of places. Had a really good interview with one company that were kind of in the ecology space, the green space, but I think they weren't quite hiring yet. And so when I interviewed at Flex, definitely got on with the manager very, very well. And I think that's naturally a nice incentive when you're about to join a company is that rapport with the person you're going to be working 100%. With very closely. I was interviewing at another place, but they were quite keen for me to start at Flex, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to take it. I'm going to take it. I like what I've read online. It is a bit different, but I think it was just one of those gut instincts to join. And as you said, definitely being part of a smaller company where you are just thrown in the deep end, but in a really good way, and given tons and tons of responsibility, which has certainly been my experience. You know, just pretty much within a week doing a lot of calls by myself, basically, which was it was nice. I mean, the business had obviously trusted me at that point to just get on with it, but they also didn't really have a choice, because who else would do that job? And so it was a bit of a baptism of fire when I first joined, because there weren't too many structures in place, and so it was a little bit stressful. But I mean, if I look back, pretty much within a month, how much I'd learned, it was crazy. Really? It was crazy. And for people that might want to be on a grad scheme or join a really, really big company, sometimes you're it's very structured, where you operate in one team and that's kind of your corner. You probably don't have too much cross-functionality within businesses. Whereas in my case, you know, I collaborate very, very closely with marketing, with finance, with other teams. And I think that's elevated my experience in the firm and felt like I've got a bit of a voice to raise ideas. And overall it's been amazing. And as I said, within 6 months, I was then moving into an account management role and taking care of a number of initially boutique clients, and then I mean right now I'm managing some of our biggest clients. Really? Which is great, and just shows the rate at which you can progress in a smaller company when you deliver and you prove your worth, and then you can almost start teaching others who join the firm and almost becoming a bit of a sales leader, mini sales leader. So it's great, and it can be stressful in those first few months, but 100%. I think the amount that you can learn really, really elevates you. And then if you are looking to pivot into another field, I think you'll have some really strong skills and probably have had a lot of responsibility that others in bigger organizations might not have had the luxury of having. And like your day-to-day account manager can definitely incorporate lots of different roles. I guess, are you looking after existing customers in terms of like upselling, cross-selling, or is it more, I guess, is it less transactional and more relationship driven? Are you going in person to meet them? Is it online? Like what does your day-to-day look like? It's a mixture really, but I'd say especially in the legal space, it's very relationship driven. Really? That's one of the things I noticed from the outset. It's quite a small world, people know each other, and building a bit of a profile in the industry is quite crucial in my space. But that's meant attending loads of events, which has been awesome. It's not just a case of there's your screen, there's your phone, get on with it. I'm out and about all the time, going to some pretty cool offices, meeting, managing partners and very senior members of some pretty big firms. And to think that I'm 24 going and doing that is really, really sweet. But staying on top of some of the key accounts and really mapping out the different contacts within those businesses and getting introductions to others, and I think that is account management, really.
Yeah.
You are just building rapport and trying to sell into a team that you might not have sold in.
Yeah.
Just mapping that out and understanding whether there is a potential to do business. You know, in some cases there isn't, if the product doesn't fit or your solution doesn't fit, but that's fine. And I think that's what sales is about. It's really trying to find what you can offer and ensure that it's actually delivering value for a challenge that a firm is experiencing. And that's really how you come across very well in sales, and not super aggressive and trying to push something that's just not really going to offer anything.
Sure.
And account management is really discovering, okay, where can I actually add value, and who do I need to know? How do I stay on top of them? So it's a repetitive job, but there's still a lot of nuance involved, and there is still a lot of variety, even though you're doing similar things and just having a lot of meetings. But
nice. And I guess a lot of it's to do with timing in sales and account management, like just picking the right time to reconnect with people and touch back in.
Definitely.
Is there a lot of like going to see people for coffees, or like, I guess, are you presenting and pitching as well quite a bit? Because I remember that might have been an internal presentation you did, but pretty early on you're like, yeah, Jack, I was pitching in front of people. Like, did you find it, obviously you've done super well, super early in your career, was it daunting at all going to some of these big offices in the city and skyscrapers and thinking, wow, this is really it? Like, as it becomes second nature now, like how do you deal with that? That's pretty cool when people are progressing through, an entry level role, or especially in tech sales, when you go to account executive or account manager. It is definitely, even for me, I remember I was working in fintech. I think even some of my managers like, he looks quite, like, I looked quite young. Hopefully I still do, but like, they're literally they're literally like, he looks quite young to be going in front of, I don't know, like private equity firms and standing up and pitching. Like, how did you find that? Did it come naturally to you? Is it something you worked on with the team, or you just sort of, I think I learned on the job, but how was it for you?
Yeah, it's definitely something I picked up on the job, and totally resonate with what you were saying. When sometimes I'll go into events and it will be very, very senior people, and I'm by far the youngest there, and I've got to go into a room of people I don't know and just network. That is scary, and even to this day, I've still not cracked that. I still feel nervous before those things. I still feel nervous before a big meeting. It's just inevitable because you don't want to mess up. And I think that's a sign that you kind of care about your job. But exposure really helps. In my case, you just don't have a choice. You just got to get into it. And one of the great things about sales is it builds huge confidence. A lot of people I know in sales are very, very confident people, because they've almost had to become confident doing things that are just terrifying, picking up the phone, just calling someone out of the blue, going into a meeting and presenting in front of very, very senior people. It is a very nerve-wracking thing, but you definitely develop those skills to present well, articulate yourself, and I think in that case, you can really destroy a lot of maybe the hierarchy, because you'll still come across as though, okay, this person actually knows their stuff, even if they are young. And I'm sure I still get those looks by, a 50-year-old managing partner when I walk in, and they're thinking, right, this guy's going to come and lecture me. But you just get used to it. You just get used to it. And I think it becomes fun at some point. When you've done it enough, it becomes fun. And I'm quite lucky in my firm that I shadow the founders and very, very senior people who meet all the time and pitch all the time. So I've learned from them as well how to come across well, and that's been really, really valuable for me. But I certainly wouldn't lie and pretend like I still don't get nervous from time to time, because you do. But
really interesting. And I was just like, came up with this in my thought, like, I was going to ask you a question, like, do any of your other mates work in tech sales, or have they followed you similar, seeing what you're doing, or is it quite... are you one of quite like I don't know, again, niche is a word of coming up? Are you like a bit of a
unicorn?
Blue boy, what do you call it? You know what I mean? Unicorn, exactly.
No, I know a couple of people that work in sales. One works in an interesting like jet broker firm.
Okay, interesting.
And so it calls up some pretty senior people, some very, very ultra high net worth individuals. So we share a lot of stories about sales. But it is, I think more and more youngsters are coming into it, and hiring managers are hiring younger people because I think they recognise that there's a lot of driven people who are quite money motivated and fearless. I think I'm speaking on behalf of people I know and some of the people that have come into our firm. But they've been, real go-getters from the start, and I've been certainly impressed with how, confident they are. So I mean, I know a couple of people that work in the industry, but I was probably, a bit of a one-off going into this path because. But I know a lot of people that then just transfer into it. They might have gone into another industry.
Yeah.
Really got to know the field, the people, the different solutions out there, and then will come into tech sales because they come across a product and think that's going to sell.
Yeah.
And I want to be a part of it. And then we'll come into, commercial function or maybe a marketing role. But
it's really interesting because I get a lot of people now moving from like KPMG, EY, Deloitte, those big grad schemes into tech sales because they know that's where they can make, a really handsome sum of money each year, but also that's the way the world's going, learning about different tools like AI and things like that. So it's 100%. Like, I think I'm 32 now, but I think when I was in my late 20s, I slowly saw a lot of peers or friends then moving into tech and tech sales. So it's quite interesting, but obviously you've blown it out of the park starting so early. Like I think I was 24 when I first got in to tech sales. So that's really, really cool. And I think from my side, it's really nice to be in an environment where you're given responsibility from day one.
100%.
I know your sales manager left.
Yeah.
So did you naturally have to step up and have other people that have come in under you've had to support them in what they're doing? And another question was, I saw your company got sold or the founder partially exited. Was that quite a cool experience to go through? Because that's another learning experience, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'll touch on the second part because that happened pretty much a month after I joined.
Was it 1 month in?
Literally
Really?
about a month in.
Okay, fine.
So was a month after, but nothing really happened for another 6 or so months. It was kind of just, announced that we were taking over. But really cool experience. We were working in London Bridge, then moved into Holborn, and I think was a good thing for the business to, as a smaller business now, slowly maturing, and growing, hiring more people. Really, really cool experience, and it's been a good acquisition. Some can, not go so well, depending on the type of acquisition, but this was a successful one for sure. And we've learned a lot from the business that acquired us because it was a very tactical acquisition, which was a success all round. And then for the people coming into the firm, I'd say I've certainly played a part in showing them around because I literally was the first salesperson. So I've kind of, I've been there from the start. I kind of know how to really, really bring people up to speed quickly. Because I've been there without really having been shown the way. And that's just sometimes the case in a small business when everyone's wearing multiple hats and you kind of just have to get stuck in and you'll learn by doing. But now I've helped people actually learn by showing them. And then they can go off and do it themselves, which is a bit of a nicer introduction into that environment. So it's certainly been really cool. Crazy to think it's been 2 years, but from a responsibility perspective, I mean, I've been handed a lot, which is certainly really cool.
Really cool. And I guess going forward, do you know what you want to get into? Well, do you know where you want to progress? I guess, is it too early to know? Like, have you thought about the next 5, probably 10 years is probably too far. But I guess even the next year or so, like, do you know where you, it's quite a big question. You don't have to answer it, but have you thought about the future and where you want to go?
It's an interesting one. Because a lot of what I hope to achieve when I first joined as an SDR, I would say I've achieved to a certain degree.
Nice,
by moving into an account management role and then starting off with small accounts and then being given bigger accounts to grow. I mean, it would definitely be cool to lead a bit of a commercial team. I can certainly see myself, helping other SDRs or BDRs because it's quite nice to see that progression.
Sure.
I quite like helping people and I'd say even now sitting on calls and showing others the way. So I could see myself with a goal of becoming maybe a bit of a commercial director or a sales director, leading a team, maybe within the next 2 to 5 years. I think that would be quite cool. Be quite a cool step.
And do you think you'll stay in the legal sector, sort of like legal tech, or pretty open to different avenues?
I mean, who knows? Honestly, legal's evolving really, really rapidly, and with that's coming a lot of different tech innovation. I mean, it's disrupting legal a lot, and I think with that could come some pretty cool opportunities. When I attend a lot of events, I see a lot of the different vendors and the different products that they're showcasing. I mean, for now, I've been very fortunate with the role I'm in, and I think I wouldn't want to trade that until I know for sure that I prefer another opportunity.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, who knows?
Keep your options. Yeah, 100%.
Keep your options open. Yeah.
And then I guess I know we're nearly out of time. A couple of minutes left. What's your day-to-day look like? I guess like, do you manage to get a bit of work-life balance in, or are you like in super early? Like, what would your day look like typically inside or outside the office? If, like, your typical week, I guess.
Inside the office, I'm up pretty early. Yeah. I'm up at like 5:30 just because I've got to get in. I like to get in for about 8. I get up early. I've just
nice.
I don't need to wake up that early. I just take a bit too long to get ready.
Do you go for a run or anything, or you just like,
no? But
just getting ready.
I get up and I'll get into the office, by about 8, half 8, nice. And I mean, usually I'll just have quite a few meetings on. Yeah. I mean, these last few months have been super busy. I've had just a ton of different opportunities. And so, getting those deals through the line and sorting that aspect out, it's quite cool within sales because you've got full ownership of your entire pipeline and you're the one responsible for getting things across. So I'd say that occupies the vast majority of my time.
Nice.
And just, getting in touch with different clients to make sure something gets through, or if we need to address anything, then that is always my main priority. I'd say that probably encompasses 4 hours maybe of my day.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it will just be, doing some outreach or, rescheduling meetings. There's some internal stuff as well that I have to deal with. But yeah, if I'm working from home, I don't know, it might work from maybe 8 till 6, something like that. Yeah, cool. Just depends. I mean, sometimes you might just see something on LinkedIn and think, oh, right, I'll just drop him a message and it'll be 8 p.m. at night. So I think you'll work as hard as you need to in sales.
Sure,
exactly. If you're not where you need to be, then you're going to be working a bit harder. But I'd say, I'm typically in around 3 days a week. And if I've got a lot of meetings on, then I like to have them in person. I think they're a bit nicer, so I might go in a bit more. But yeah, pretty typical sales day. The prospects come first. You've got to do that outreach, booking in the meetings, and then just dealing with all the live ops that you've got on.
Yeah, good stuff. And I guess just to wrap up, what advice would you give to someone who's considering breaking into tech sales and wants to do a job, or like interviews, or just general advice? Like, if there's like 3 points you could give them. Yeah.
So I mean, for interviews, I think behavioural questions came up quite a lot because it is such an important aspect of sales, having that rigor, that determination. So I think if you can come up with some previous, it doesn't even need to be work experiences, they can just be personal experiences. I lent on things like sports, my time in the Marines, for instance, to just showcase the courage and that competitive element. It's certainly something that's going to help out in interviews. I think understanding that while you can make a lot of money, you are going to have to put in that work, and it can be a bit stressful. But I'd say organization skills are really, really crucial as well. Staying on top of things, if that means, coming up with a massive list of what you need to do every single day. I mean, nowadays you can put them all into your CRMs and just ensure that you're on top of things and setting yourself targets. Your organization is really, really crucial. And, don't be afraid to give it a go, because it will really, really build on not just your professional skills. Like, you'll be surprised how it transfers over to your personal life as well when you just develop a lot of confidence. It's a role I recommend for everyone, and seniors appreciate SDRs because they know how hard a job it is. They really, really respect you if you've been through that, because it is tough, and I think you can earn a lot of credit from people when you break through that 2-year period or 1.5-year period 100%. And then venture off into, I don't know, account management role or something else. So
good stuff.
That's my point.
Looks like the guys come in to shut us off, but
cool.
It is a sales and sports podcast, and would love to dive into sport and the Marines, so there might have to be a part 2.
We might have to do a part 2. Exactly. Half an hour.
Exactly. But thanks so much for coming on. Honestly, it's great to see you doing so well, and excited to see how the next couple of years go as well.
Yeah, nice to speak to you, Jack.
Awesome.
Cheers,
buddy.
mate.
Cheers.